This is a story not just about saving an old vinyl record store, but about how two different melodies find harmony. Arthur, the owner of the legendary Orpheus's note, lives in the past, devoted to the warm crackle of analog sound. Clara, a pioneering electronic music producer, hears only the future in digital beats. Their worlds collided when the record store, a sanctuary for music lovers, faced its final curtain call. What happens when the soul of a vintage vinyl record meets the pulse of a synthesizer? Can two opposites find a common frequency, not only to save a beloved institution, but also to compose a love song? This is a love story born from the grooves of a forgotten record. A story of how a classic melody and a modern remix unite to create a symphony. About a forgotten song finding a new voice and music transcending all boundaries. Arthur's world was measured in RPMs. His life was the dusty, sweet-smelling cavern of Orpheus's note, a record shop his grandfather had opened. For him, music wasn't just sound. It was a physical artifact, a ritual of carefully lowering the needle and hearing the warm, forgiving hiss before the orchestra began. He believed the soul of music lived in that crackle. Clara's world was built in the cloud. She created soundscapes that had never existed before, layering synthetic beats and ethereal vocals in her studio, her canvas a digital audio workstation. To her, the Orpheus's note was a beautiful museum, but a museum nonetheless, a relic of a bygone era. The eviction notice was a stark, modern piece of paper taped to the vintage oak door. A developer wanted to turn the space into a minimalist coffee shop. Arthur felt the walls closing in, each doomed record a silent requiem. Desperate, he agreed to his niece's idea, a fundraising concert. "We need a show it's still relevant," she insisted. And she knew just the person to handle the online stream and modern appeal, her friend, Clara. Their first meeting was a dissonant chord. Clara, looking at the shelves, said, "We could digitize all this. Preserve the space, not the dust." Arthur, clutching a rare pressing of Beethoven's Ninth, replied, "You cannot digitize a heartbeat. You can only record its echo." But as they were forced to work together, something shifted. Arthur played Clara a vinyl recording of Miles Davis's Kind of Blue. She closed her eyes, not just hearing the music, but feeling it, the slight imperfections, the depth. "It's alive," she whispered, and Arthur saw a crack in her futuristic armor. In turn, Clara showed him her world. She sampled the unique sound of his vintage turntable's needle hitting the run-out groove, the sound of a side ending. She looped it, layered it with a soft piano melody, and created a beautiful, haunting track. "This is the sound of anticipation," she said. "The moment between one song and the next." Arthur listened, amazed. He had never thought of that sound as music before. The fundraiser became their shared mission. Arthur curated the live performances, a local jazz quartet, an old folk singer. Clara handled the live global stream, creating stunning visualizers that danced on the shop's walls, blending real-time footage with abstract art. She didn't replace the classic aesthetic, she elevated it, giving it a new dimension. The night of the event, the shop was packed, both physically and online. Donations poured in. But the climax came unexpectedly. Clara took the small, temporary stage. "I composed something new for this place," she said, looking directly at Arthur. "It's called the Orpheus's Last Note." She began her set. The foundation was her electronic music, pulsing and modern. But woven into it were the sounds of the Orpheus's note, the crackle of a record, the ringing of the old doorbell, the turning of a page from Arthur's ledger, and the very needle drop sound she had sampled. It was a perfect fusion. The past wasn't being preserved in amber, it was being remixed into the present, creating something entirely new and breathtaking. As the final, resonant note faded, the crowd erupted. They had not only met their goal, they had surpassed it. But Arthur wasn't looking at the donation counter. He was looking at Clara, seeing the same magic he felt in his records, now alive in her. In the quiet after the crowd left, surrounded by the silent, saved records, he approached her. "You didn't just save the store," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "You gave its song a new verse." Clara smiled, taking his hand. "You taught me that every new song needs an old soul, Arthur." Under the soft glow of the shop's vintage neon sign, the past and the future finally found their harmony, composing a duet that was just beginning.